Have you ever been in a situation where everything feels perfect? You're on a date with him. You're laughing, sharing stories, and feeling like this could actually go somewhere meaningful. The connection feels real. But then, in a moment of vulnerability, you share something personal, something you thought was harmless, and suddenly the energy shifts. His smile fades. The conversation grows distant, and by the end of the date, he says, "I'll call you." But deep down, he won't. What went wrong, ladies? We all want to be open and honest in our relationships. Vulnerability builds connection, but there are certain truths, certain parts of your life that if shared too soon, can harm your chances of building something meaningful. It's not about being deceitful. It's about understanding timing, emotional boundaries, and how men process information today. I'll share the top 5 secrets you should never reveal to your man, especially in the early stages of a relationship, and explain why keeping these to yourself can help you build a stronger, healthier connection. So, grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's dive deep into the secret one. Your deepest insecurities. Let's get real. Everyone has insecurities. It's human. But when it comes to relationships, timing is everything. If you open up too soon about your insecurities, whether it's about your appearance, your career, or something deeply personal, you risk planting seeds of doubt in his mind. Here's the truth. Men are drawn to confidence. They want a partner who believes in herself, even when life gets tough. Now, let me clarify something important. This doesn't mean you need to pretend to be perfect, but the early stages of a relationship are not the time to unpack all your emotional baggage. Imagine you're on a second or third date, and you say something like, "I'm so self-conscious about my weight. I don't think I'm good enough for someone like you. I hate my job and feel stuck in life." Even if empathizes, in the moment, these statements might make him wonder if you're someone who can handle life's challenges with resilience. Think of it this way. When you start a new job, you don't walk into your first meeting and announce all the things you're bad at, right? You focus on your strengths, your potential, and what you bring to the table. Relationships are no different. Instead of focusing on your insecurities, reframe them as growth opportunities. For example, instead of saying, "I hate my job," say, "I'm working on finding a career that aligns with my passions." Instead of saying, "I've always struggled with my self-esteem," say, "I'm on a journey of self-love, and it's been incredibly empowering." See the difference. You're being authentic, but in a way that highlights your strength and growth secret. 2, the details of your past relationships. Ladies, this one is huge. Talking about your past relationships might feel like a way to bond or show honesty, but trust me, it's a dangerous road. Here's why. When you share too much about your exes, you unintentionally invite comparisons. If you talk about how amazing your ex was, he might think, does she still have feelings for him? If you share how toxic the real relationship was, he might wonder, why did she stay so long? Will she bring that baggage into our relationship? Even innocent details can create unnecessary tension. For example, think if you say, "My ex was so romantic," he might feel pressured to match that. If you say, "My ex cheated on me," he might think you'll always be suspicious of him. Here's the rule. Keep it vague. If he asks about your past, say something like, I've had experiences that taught me a lot about what I want and what I don't want in a relationship. I'm focused on building something meaningful. Now, this answer is honest, but leaves the past where it belongs, behind you, Secret 3. Your financial struggles. Money is a sensitive topic. And while it's important to be transparent in a long-term relationship, spilling all your financial struggles too soon can backfire. Let me be clear. No one expects you to be wealthy or have your finances completely figured out. But when you talk about being overwhelmed by debt living paycheck to paycheck or struggling to make ends meet, it can unintentionally send a message that you're not ready for a stable partnership. Men, like women, value stability. If he feels like he might need to rescue you financially, it could make him hesitant to commit. Here's how to handle it. Instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the solution. Instead of saying, I'm drowning in debt, say, I've been working on managing my finances better, and it's empowering to take control. Instead of saying, I can barely afford my rent, say, I'm budgeting carefully to build the future. I want this shift in perspective shows that you're responsible, resilient, and proactive, qualities that are incredibly attractive. Secret 4. Your biggest regrets or failures. We all have moments in life we wish we could undo. But sharing your biggest regrets or failures too soon can send the wrong message. When you talk about past mistakes, like a failed business, a poor career choice, or a personal setback, you risk being seen as someone who's stuck in the past. Men don't expect you to be perfect, but they are drawn to women who show resilience and growth, for example. Instead of saying, I tried starting a business and it ruined me financially, say, my first business taught me valuable lessons, and I'm using that experience to build something even better. This reframing shows that you're not defined by your failures, you're empowered by them. Secret 5. Your fears about commitment or the future. This one's tricky, because fears are natural. But when you voice doubts like, what if I'm never good enough for someone? Or, what if I can't handle a serious relationship too soon? It can make him question if you're emotionally ready for a relationship. Instead, focus on the present. Say something like, I'm excited to see where this connection goes. I'm focused on building something meaningful and taking it one step at a time. This keeps the conversation positive and forward-looking. Final thoughts. Timing is everything. Ladies' relationships are about trust, vulnerability, and emotional intimacy. But these things take time to build. The early stages are about showing your strengths, your confidence, and your ability to handle life's challenges. Here's the golden rule. Share your truths when the relationship has a solid foundation. Until then, focus on showing him the amazing, resilient, and confident woman you are. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what's one secret you think women should keep to themselves? In a new relation? A ship? I'd love to hear your thought.